Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button for all the tea. Okay, today we're talking about a reported major clash on the Avengers Doomsday set between two of Hollywood's biggest egos. According to insiders, a joke went too far, egos collided, and Marvel had to literally separate these two stars and pay millions to keep the peace. We're talking about reshoots, creative differences, and drama that insiders are comparing to the infamous Fast and Furious feuds. The quote that got me? An insider said, "The dysfunction I've heard on this set is rivaled only by that of Fast and Furious movies." Y'all, when your set is being compared to that level of chaos, you know it's serious. Let me break down exactly what allegedly went down on this set because the details are wild. According to film insider John Rocha, who spilled this tea on the Christian Harloff show, a comment, from what I understand, was made in jest that was a bit too familiar because these actors didn't know each other too well. It crossed a line. Now listen, while the insiders didn't name names initially, fans immediately started speculating that this was about RDJ and Ryan Reynolds. And honestly, when you think about these two personalities, it makes sense. One of the actors got really upset about it, confronted the other actor. It was said on the set. That caused a big rift. Two very outspoken actors went at each other, Rocha continued. Y'all, can you imagine the tension on that set? But here's where it gets even more dramatic. Marvel reportedly said, "We'll shoot your scene separately or without the other actor in it, or we'll figure it out in some other way." Honey, when a studio has to literally separate their two biggest stars, you know it's serious. The fact that Marvel had to step in and rearrange their entire shooting schedule around this feud, that's giving major drama. And honestly, I'm here for the tea, but worried about the movie. Now let's talk about why this alleged clash makes sense when you think about who these two alleged personalities are. We've got Robert Downey Jr., the man who literally is the MCU, who's getting paid $50–60 million for this role, and who's known for having very strong opinions about how things should be done. Then you've got Ryan Reynolds, Mr. Deadpool himself, who's famous for his quick wit, sarcastic humor, and breaking the fourth wall. This is a man who literally roasts people for living, and his humor can definitely be, let's say, acquired taste for some people. When you put these two massive egos in the same room, both used to being the biggest star on their respective sets, sparks were bound to fly. Think about it. RDJ is coming back to the MCU as Dr. Doom, not Iron Man, which is already a huge shift for him. And Ryan is bringing Deadpool into this more serious Avengers world. Robert Downey Jr., known for his magnetic presence and sharp wit, commands attention wherever he goes, blending intensity with effortless charm. Ryan Reynolds, equally charismatic, wields humor like a finely tuned instrument, capable of lighting up any room. But sometimes when two finely tuned instruments play together, they're not always in harmony. The rumor is that these actors didn't know each other too well, and that familiarity breeds either friendship or contempt. In this case, it sounds like it might have bred some serious tension. But y'all, the drama doesn't stop there. According to insider Jeff Snyder, there's been some serious behind-the-scenes chaos involving RDJ and his demands for reshoots that cost Disney millions. Here's what allegedly happened. Disney initially filmed 3 weeks of material with stand-ins for Downey inside the Dr. Doom suit, while the actor read lines off camera. According to Snyder, Downey wasn't satisfied with the results. After 2 to 3 weeks, he pushed to reshoot the entire block of scenes with himself in the suit. 3 weeks of footage, y'all. Do you know how much money that is? We're talking millions of dollars down the drain because RDJ decided he didn't like how the scenes looked with body doubles. I've heard that even though they paid Robert Downey Jr. $50–60 million a movie, Disney's had to reshoot for 3 weeks. They reshot 3 weeks worth of material because apparently RDJ was like, "This isn't working. I want to reshoot everything with me in the suit." Now listen, I get wanting your performance to be perfect, especially when you're getting paid $60 million. But the fact that this happened while there was allegedly drama between him and Ryan Reynolds, the timing is giving me all kinds of thoughts about what was really going on behind the scenes. Some insiders are saying there's just a lot of testosterone and a lot of ego on that set, and honey, that's becoming very obvious. Now here's where things get really spicy, because insiders are comparing the Avengers Doomsday set to the most notoriously chaotic franchise in Hollywood, Fast and Furious. Y'all remember the drama between Vin Diesel and The Rock? The social media posts, the passive-aggressive comments, the fact that they literally couldn't be in scenes together? Well, apparently the Doomsday set is giving those same vibes. The dysfunction I've heard on the Doomsday set is rivaled only by that of Fast and Furious movies, Snyder revealed. When your Marvel movie is being compared to that level of behind-the-scenes mess, you know things are bad, he continued. There's a lot of testosterone and a lot of ego on that set. A lot of people who think they know what way is the best way. In the end, there's only one person's way who matters, and that's actually Robert Downey Jr. And there it is, the real tea. It sounds like RDJ is basically running this production, and anyone who challenges his vision is going to have problems. Now imagine Ryan Reynolds, who's used to having complete creative control over Deadpool, walking into that environment. The Russo brothers, who previously directed Infinity War and Endgame without these kinds of issues, are apparently dealing with ego clashes, testosterone-driven disputes, and disagreements over creative direction. This is not the Marvel we're used to seeing. Now let's talk about Ryan's role in all this, because his involvement in Doomsday is particularly interesting. Ryan Reynolds ignited the rumors of his appearance in Avengers Doomsday after he shared a cryptic post on Instagram. His post showed an Avengers logo that had been vandalized with red graffiti over it. And according to THR sources, Deadpool will appear in Avengers Doomsday. Don't expect him to actually be joining the Avengers team, though. So Ryan's bringing his irreverent, fourth-wall-breaking character into the serious Avengers world. But here's what makes this even more interesting. Downey had earlier declined an opportunity to feature in Deadpool and Wolverine. So RDJ said no to being in Ryan's movie, but now they're forced to work together on Doomsday? That's giving awkward energy already. Plus, Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool were brought into Doomsday to help steady the ship, highlighting the pressure the studio is under after other Marvel projects have been flopping. So Ryan is essentially there to save Marvel's reputation, but he's clashing with the guy who's supposed to be the main attraction. The dynamic is giving new student versus the popular kid who's been running the school, and honestly, that tension was probably inevitable. When you bring Deadpool's chaotic energy into RDJ's controlled environment, sparks are going to fly. Now here's the good news, if you can call it that. Rocha revealed that the two actors eventually patched things up, with apologies exchanged and no further drama on set. So it sounds like cooler heads eventually prevailed. Rocha later confirmed that the two actors met, exchanged apologies, and put the matter behind them. Yes, they're okay now. There have been no other incidents that I've heard of. But honey, the damage may already be done. Because the two actors play key roles, the director team, Joe and Anthony Russo, had to adjust the script. Some scenes featuring both characters were altered or removed entirely, so even though they've made up, the movie itself has been affected. We're getting a different version of Doomsday than originally planned because of this alleged feud. That's going to impact the final product, and honestly, that's what I'm most worried about as a fan. Filming schedules were reportedly adjusted to keep the actors apart, and one was said to have received a significant financial incentive to maintain peace. Financial incentive! Marvel literally had to pay someone extra money to play nice. The level of petty is astronomical. Let's zoom out and talk about what this alleged drama means for the MCU and for Avengers Doomsday specifically. This movie is supposed to be Marvel's big comeback after a series of disappointments, and behind-the-scenes chaos is not what they need right now. With Captain America, Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and now Fantastic Four all flopping, Marvel could be in full panic mode. They need Doomsday to be a massive success, and having their two biggest stars feuding is not helping that cause. The fact that industry insiders have described the atmosphere on set as increasingly chaotic, drawing comparisons to the infamous Fast and Furious disputes, is giving me major red flags about the final product. Think about it. When actors are focused on ego battles instead of the performance, when scripts have to be rewritten to accommodate personal drama, when millions of dollars are being wasted on reshoots because of personality conflicts, that doesn't usually result in great movies. Plus, with Reynolds' Deadpool brought into the film to revitalize Marvel's struggling box office fortunes, rumors of friction between the two stars have only added to the growing perception that Avengers Doomsday has become one of the most turbulent productions in the studio's history. This is supposed to be the movie that saves Marvel, and instead, it's becoming known for behind-the-scenes drama. That's not the narrative they want heading into a December 2026 release. Okay, y'all, so what's the verdict on this Avengers Doomsday drama? Honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, I love some good behind-the-scenes tea, and this story has everything: ego clashes, million-dollar reshoots, and two of Hollywood's biggest personalities going head-to-head. But as a Marvel fan, I'm worried about what this means for the movie. When you have this much drama behind the scenes, it usually shows up on screen. And with Marvel already struggling at the box office, they really can't afford for Doomsday to be anything less than spectacular. The good news is that RDJ and Ryan apparently worked things out, so hopefully the rest of production goes smoothly. But the fact that scripts had to be changed and scenes had to be reshot because of their feud, that's going to have lasting effects on the final product. Here's what I think really happened. You had two massive egos, both used to being the biggest star on their sets, thrown together in a high-pressure environment. Add in the stress of trying to save the MCU, millions of dollars on the line, and creative differences about how things should be done, and drama was inevitable. Now, I want to hear from y'all. Who do you think it is? Do you think this alleged feud between RDJ and Ryan Reynolds is going to affect the quality of Doomsday? Are you Team Robert or Team Reynolds? And honestly, are you more excited or worried about this movie after hearing about all the behind-the-scenes chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I live for your takes on these Hollywood dramas. And if you want more behind-the-scenes tea about your favorite movies and stars, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. Hit that like button if this drama has you as invested as I am, share it with your Marvel-loving friends who need to know about this mess, and I'll see you in the next one.